Hello, everybody. Welcome in. How are you guys doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right. I think I have things set up. We have a project we're gonna work on here. Get some stuff. I got baggies of things I gotta get out and ready. 1, 2, 3. That's fine. Where does this guy go? Go here. Like that. Yep. Okay. Alright. Hey, Jaded. Mr. Lord. Welcome in. Sorry, just trying to get things set up and doing all kinds of stuff. So, yeah. Hop on over here. So today, I'm going to be assembling some minis. And I think the painting son might join me in a little bit, also assembling minis. Because we both got stuff we need to work on. But, going to be assembling minis and chatting about Total War. I think that's the plan. So my clippers there. We got this guy. Does this guy? Oopsie, seems like he fits better on this one. Yeah, let's put you on here. We're gonna go there. Okay, so what we're gonna do? We're gonna assemble some miniatures. I have 2 Saturnine Terminators to assemble from my Saturnine box. These are the last 2 minis I have to assemble, and then I have 3 of them to paint and the Saturnine Praetor I never painted. So, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and assemble those. We're gonna do some light stuff today while we chat. But yeah, that's gonna be the plan. And then this weekend I'm gonna try to get a lot of stuff primed and base coated, and we can start painting some other stuff this Sunday. But we'll go ahead and start here. So they're all the same pieces. It's just different posing that you work on. So we start with 19 and 20. I think we do this twice. Yeah, because they're mirrored. The screws are mirrored. There's 20. Where is 19? What you guys doing? Jaded, how's your day? Where's piece 19? I can get 20 out. Maybe it's on the other sprue. Let's go see. Is it on the other sprue? We'll see piece 19. Okay. Where are you? There's piece 18. That's a toe. This piece is like a weird... There it is. Okay. Right here. Got it. Yeah, so I spent some time and watched it's called the Alpha Strike stream, but it was the Creative Assembly live stream talking about some mechanics for the upcoming Total War 40K. What is my son doing in regard to minis? He assembles and paints them. Yeah, and he bought his first minis at the beginning of summer. They're actually like fully his money. He purchased them, and they're miniatures for Star Wars Legion. And we're still kind of assembling them. He can assemble them fully on his own, but what we're doing right now is he clips them out of the sprue. I take my hobby knife, I'll trim the pieces, and then he glues them together. So I don't let him use a hobby knife on his own yet, since he's 9 years old. I'll get out files and he can file pieces down. So that's what he does on his own, is he'll file pieces. But he also doesn't he doesn't use the clippers without like supervision or anything either. But after that, the plan is I use the airbrush and I'll prime his minis, and then he paints them. So far so good. It's a sleepy day. You got the day off or anything, or just in general sleepy day? Okay, get some glue or cement rather. These pieces just go moving as fast as a herd of turtles. Okay. Just that kind of day. I get it. I think that's how these pieces go together. Whoops. Okay, just set you together like... Guess not. I guess my fingers don't want to do what my brain tells them to do today. Alright. First little leg piece put together. Hey, Famulus, welcome. Yeah, we're doing well. I'm excited to talk about Total War, if you guys are. I don't know if you guys are interested in Total War 40k or not, but they just did about, it was like an hour and 20-minute live stream. Let's see, 21, 22, oh no, 13 and 12, 13 and 12, okay. It's 13, there's 12, alright. They just did a live stream. They showed off like a full battle, like someone playing a full battle. And they showed the same person play that battle 3 times, actually, just to have the time to talk about stuff. But and they went through and they talked about specific mechanics, like cover and ranged weapons and suppression and morale and yeah, like unit equipment and everything. So they did a lot of stuff with that, which was really cool. It was really cool to hear like the nuance of what's going to be happening in the game, and it seems really good at this point. Yeah, I'm excited. Probably more excited than I've ever been. Which, you know, I already love Total War games, so I'm pretty much the target audience for this game, but yeah, it should be hopefully really good. But yeah, excited for it. A lot of stuff. If anybody did watch that and they want to talk about it, yeah, or like, you know, you've never played a Total War game and you're curious how specific things have worked in the past, or why things are a big deal, or what's going on, or whatever. I have played many Total War games past 26 years, and I'm more than happy to talk about my thoughts as far as what I think is happening. The walk yesterday? Oh, I'll mess with you, yeah. Much lower than they were in spring, but the heat, yeah. Ooh, 119 in the sun. Holy cow, that's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. That was yesterday, you said? You were dealing with that? Getting outside? We have had a very cool days the past 2 days. We've had windows open in the house the past 2 days, which has been great. It's been in like the low 70s. That's been amazing. I feel like it's been so, the air quality's been bad from the wildfires up north, and then just the just the heat causing problems, and so yeah, being able to open windows and have fresh air and like not immediately having allergies triggered from it has been really nice. It's 22. Where's 23? 2 and 3. Okay. No, not you. It's you. Opening windows the best part of winter. Yeah, that's crazy to me to like, yeah. Who opens windows in the winter? That's 14, 15, 16. Okay, there's 16. There's 15. Yep, so we're working on 2 of these guys. These minis take forever. They're like 40 plus pieces each. They're pretty crazy to assemble. So I've only had 7, including the Praetor, but I'll like assemble one randomly, and I'm just like, nope, like that was too much work. But we're gonna suffer through. We're gonna put 2 of them together, and then I'm gonna have a whole bunch of stuff that I'm gonna work on with the airbrush this weekend. And then we're going to try to knock out a bunch with painting. That should be good. You'll live in place with 120 degree heat index in the summer. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Hey, Mydra, how you doing? Feeling about getting the new Custodian Guard painted? Should have left the capes off them. Oh, yeah. What do you think, Famulus, about the leak? The Terminators that leaked? I know it's like one relatively unclear photo, so like I'm trying not to judge any appearance, but I know people have very mixed opinions on them. Never played or seen the Total War games, so you want to ramble about it for a while I paint? I'd love to listen. Alright, sweet. I'm really excited about Total War, guys. It's my favorite video game series of all time. And you know, Warhammer Fantasy and Total War for my childhood, my teenage years, was like the dream game. And it happened, you know, in 2016 it came out. It was like, this is the perfect game, right? And now that they're doing 40K, it's like even better. That it's, you know, it's a my steak is too juicy and my lobster's too buttery kind of situation. I just have all the options, so it's really exciting. But yeah, it's going to be a game that probably going to get support for at least 10 years, probably more than that. This will probably be the biggest budget game Creative Assembly's ever made. There's going to be every single faction represented. Like, you pick a faction and that exists in Warhammer 40K, at least exists in tabletop, but you know, that might come out in the future. It's going to exist in 40K. Pretty much every named character will probably see an appearance at some point as a playable character. Customizable paint schemes, different sub-factions, chapters, guard regiments, or clans will see representation. Like, all of that is going to be in this game. Okay, we have to hold it like this. And let's test fit this. This goes this way. And then it fits right in the side there, just like that. Yeah. You're excited. They look a bit odd without the plumes. That's fair. Yeah. And you know, maybe the plumes will be like an optional thing too. But I don't know. I don't feel like they would really do those minis. They would, you know, choose the non-plume option for showing off what they look like. Try Total War then. Yeah, you'll run Custodes. Custodes 100% will end up being a playable faction. Yeah. When Total War Warhammer came out, there was a question about, like, you know, what factions, because when it came out there were only 4 factions in the game. There were 2 like legendary lords per faction, and nobody really knew how far that game was gonna go. You know, like how well it was gonna do or how much they were going to release. And like at this point, there are factions in Total War Warhammer that don't exist in tabletop. Like the Vampire Coast, which is like an awesome like throwback to like White Dwarf articles and lore about like zombie pirates and stuff like that, but it doesn't exist in tabletop right now. Or like Cathay is like a new thing. Kislev is a faction that doesn't exist in tabletop, and there are like characters and just like there's so many like deep dives on characters they pull, or like factions they pull, or you know, anything like that. Is just, yeah. So last year start with tabletop, so I get to play any game. Okay, that's fair. Yeah, Warhammer has a good suite of video games. Definitely cover a lot of different genres. So yeah, Custodes 100% will be in. The factions I'm not sure that will be in the game. If I had to say, like, man, I don't know if that one will make it, you know, as its own faction. Maybe Knights and Chaos Knights. Only because, but also like, never mind. No, they're 100% going to be in the game as their own faction. I don't even think they're going to do what Dawn of War did and shove them into Mechanicum. I think they'll just be their own faction, because there is. It's not just about like, oh, you build an army and you conquer stuff. Like, there are different like mechanisms they can do. Yeah, Imperial Agents will be in the game. Yeah, because it's the factions I'm like not sure will be in the game will be like Dark Mechanicum, or like specific like Lost in the Damned, like Traitor Guard. Those are the factions I'm like, well, maybe not. You know, those are the kind of things that I'm not quite sure about. Okay, we need to get out some pieces here. I have some torso plates. 1, 2, 3. Let's do you, and we'll do you. And then we need cowls and helmets. There's a helmet. A couple cowls. I like the taller standing ones. And eventually, let's get these shoulder pads out. Yeah, because so a lot of older Total War games had kind of like specific things you would do, where it was like you would paint the map, is what they called it. So, you know, your job was to conquer the world, and that was what Total War was. With Total War Warhammer, they have changed it so factions have such different play styles that you can have a faction where their job isn't to conquer the world. There's like, again, Vampire Coast is a unique one where they're pirates. Pirates don't care about conquering the world. That's not something that concerns them. So what matters to a pirate faction is something like like finding something specific. So like one of the characters, his campaign is you're finding pieces of 8, and when you find them, your whole goal is to you're trying to find a dead creature called a mareworm, which is like a big underwater dragon. And or I guess it's not dead. You're trying to find a living one, and then once you find it, it triggers like this battle, and your goal is to kill it because then you want to resurrect it. And then you want to have an undead Mereworm under your control. And that's like the end goal of the game for Vampire Coast. And you can continue further. You can still conquer the world if you want to, but they're not really a faction that's meant to do that. You're meant to take like coastal cities, or not even take the coastal cities. You can found like pirate hideouts and stuff. Yeah, they're trying to find the One Piece. Yeah. Two. Okay. Yeah, or like the Tomb Kings. The Tomb Kings are very much like a conquer everything faction, but even then, their kind of goal is like working with Books of Nagash, and as you find the Books of Nagash, you're like buffing your armies and like, you know, expanding your kind of the ways you play and stuff. But then, you know, I think as the Tomb Kings in general are trying to stop Nagash from coming back, because they don't like him. And joke's on them, Nagash is about to be in the game. So it's probably going to be more important for them to do that as the when the next DLC for that game comes out. But regardless, there's huge play styles. I think with ogres, it's about getting like mercenary contracts and just like earning money and food. Some factions, it's about conquering the world, or at least conquering, you know, a certain amount of the world. But they could definitely translate that in the 40k. Imperial agents are about completing specific contracts or specific missions, right? That doesn't necessarily mean that you're not conquering and putting a banner on a planet in the name of Imperial agents. That's not a thing that happens, so you have to find other goals for them. And yeah, they've already shown that that's something that they can do. And I have a feeling that Total War 40k is going to have a much larger budget than even Total War Warhammer did. And Total War Warhammer is like the golden goose for this company. So Chaos Warband just doing going out for glory. Yeah, playing as specific Night Lords faction, and you're like, I just need to like take like 50 skins from each planet or whatever. Like it's, yeah. Assassination targets, sabotage, yeah. That's what I'm thinking about, like Deathwatch, right? Deathwatch have like a very clear kind of like stopping Xenos invasions, meeting Xenos where they are, right? But all of this stuff, all of that stuff, it plays on a sandbox map. That's where I have to trim some of this down. It's these nubs right here. I printed these a long time ago. Yeah, Genestealer cults, very much infiltrating planets. Probably the goal of conquering planets in a way. But yeah, how do they interact with Tyranids will be an interesting one. But yeah, the way they have this map set up too, you're not just playing like, you know, here's the galaxy, it's one big map, and there's, you know, 500 planets. Like, you start a campaign, and you can choose like different sizes. So you could play over like just a planet, and you could fight a battle for a planet, which is still multiple battles to conquer a planet. So it's not like it's easy to do. Or like a quick, but it's like an evening, you know, a couple hours or something. Then you have like, you can fight in a system, so it's multiple planets in a system that you're fighting over. Or you can play like a sector, which is like multiple systems, and like, you know, you can play in a massive sector. But when you yeah, I think that's what we want. When you play a campaign, what you do with what faction you do sticks in the galaxy. So like the story of that faction, you know, your custom Space Marine chapter, you know, defended Armageddon. You know, like Armageddon will still be like in the, I guess, like galaxy wide like overview kind of map, and it'll show maybe it's controlled by, you know, that chapter, if chapters do control planets. I'm not sure, but and it'll be like your custom chapter. They'll still show up in the world, in the overarching world of like the galaxy, the Milky Way galaxy, which is crazy. Like it sounds super ambitious. Vaughn, you feel demotivated because you've been painting for a year and haven't improved? Are you sure you haven't improved? I think a lot of times we see our own work and we're really good about picking the flaws in our own work. And, you know, instead of like seeing the things that we're actually improving on. I know I'm good about doing that, or bad about doing that as well. We want that. Connect. Okay, we do a couple of things. No, Space Marines are their own faction. Yeah. The 4 starting factions are Space Marines, Astra Militarum, Eldar, and Orcs. And I'm sure there will be a Chaos faction hot on the heels. You can't have 40k without chaos representation. So I doubt there will be unlocks. I think just over time there's just gonna be faction DLCs, and they'll put out factions as DLCs. Yeah, and something they did with Total War Warhammer that I don't think they'll do with 40k is Total War Warhammer. The plan from the start was we're making a trilogy of games that are all going to like interlock and interact with each other, and so you know, they have a game come out, have some DLCs, and then the next game comes out, has like more new factions, and then eventually you get this giant like galaxy wide map or planet wide map for Total War Warhammer. They're not doing that with 40k. 40k is built from the ground up to be just one game, and that you'll get your add-ons with it as you do. No. That's like an old Total War idea. Yeah, that's from like that's from like what, Medieval 2 was probably the last one to use that idea. But yeah, it'll be faction DLCs, and yeah, Rome 2 had faction deal. Yeah, because DLCs didn't really exist. You know, when Rome and Medieval 2 were out in the early 2000s. Yeah, of course. Yeah, because when you unlock them, it's cheaper, right? But also, even if it were to be that, I don't think there's like a specific like you know, look, you've defeated the Tau from the galaxy, like they're all dead. You know, it's the Tau probably won't be in the game from the start anyway. I don't think a lot of those factions will be. DLC Helmet Crest DLC, Dan and Night Cycle, yeah, everything is DLC now. What I will say about Total War DLCs, and 40k is not doing a specific Blood DLC. They have done Blood DLCs in the past because like ratings on games and everything, but it was like a whole thing. But the blood is just part of 40K, like the game. It's going to be in the game from the start. They were talking about that today. But yeah, one of the differences between the Rome Total War system and what we have, like with these Warhammer games, the Warhammer Total War games. Let me see. Get this guy in here. Hold on. Let me figure this out. Go that way. Let's see, go. It's this one. That goes this way. Got it. Alright. One of the things to keep in mind is that when they were building, like, say like Rome, Rome Total War, Rome Total War, when you're making a faction for Rome Total War, all right, one of the big things is you have at most like 4 types of units. There's infantry, there's cavalry, there's chariots, and then there's like sometimes like elephants. Otherwise there's nothing else in the game. So you're making like a skeleton for a unit. You need a skeleton of an infantry, they're all the same skeleton, right? If it's an archer, it has an archer animation. If it's a swordsman, it has a swordsman animation. But it's all the same skeleton that you work from. When you're doing something like Warhammer, so Warhammer Fantasy, there are 3 human factions, and they share some skeletons. So some attack animations, some movement, they're the same. But then you have like orcs and goblins. Orcs and goblins have 35 different skeletons for just their faction. And they need all those animations, they need all all that work that goes into that one faction, and not to mention like the interactions between the two. And then you have like skeletons, and Tomb Kings are actually very different with their skeletons and their animations. So you have like a monster, you have one monster, that monster gets its own unique skeleton and set of animations and all of that just to make that one monster. They actually talked about at one point, it was a meme, it was a huge meme for like Total War community about this, where people were asking for a specific monster, where it was like a beastman monster, like, oh, I want there's a Jabberwocky is what it was. We want a Jabberwocky, that's the monster we want. It's this crazy looking monster. It's in the game now, which was funny. But they're like, we want this monster. And one of the developers came out and they said, hey, just so you're aware, just the cost to make this monster, to create the skeleton, to create the rigging, the animations, the art design, just that cost more than the budget, or more than the cost of a DLC that just came out for one of the historical games. Like the entire DLC for that game. Like the whole budget for that one DLC was less than what it would cost to make this monster. And that's one unit for one faction, and there are 30 different factions for Total War, like Fantasy. And there's going to be that many at least for 40K. So, I'm as anti-corporation, I hope, as just about anybody, but like you have to think about like the amount of work they have to put into that game to make those factions. And if the game is good and if I enjoy the game, like this is already a day one purchase for me, or a pre-order or whatever. I'll probably be a pre-order, to be honest, but if it's worth it to me and I enjoy the game, I'll keep buying DLC and stuff. Like that's how it's worked with me for Total War Warhammer. I have enjoyed the game immensely, and I have bought every DLC for the game, and I still play it after 10 years. Because their DLC is worth it. They add features. They add a lot of features for free when DLCs come out. They never take away features like some other companies do. So like that's a positive. There are some gaps in this. It's just an older print. This person I think has since improved these prints a lot, but that all gets covered up, so it's not a problem. We just tend to have plenty of replayability, and you end up with a decent time to cost ratio. Yeah, I have thousands and thousands of hours in Total War. Mr. Lord on YouTube asks, how do you think the 3 Chaos God Legions, besides Death Guard, will work? Especially their small ranges will be a huge popularity. I think there's a couple things they can do. They could just keep the smaller what is it? Ranges. They could. They'll probably expand some, but also in 40k, they talked about this today. They have a mechanism for equipping units. Like, individual models within a unit can have different equipment, which is new for Total War. It's a totally new thing. So they showed off like a Castrican squad where there's 30 models, there's 18 dudes, or 12 dudes with a las rifle, there's 2 hot shot las guns, there's 2 vox casters with hot shot las guns, there's guys with plasma rifles, there's sergeants. Every model can throw a grenade. They all have pistols. Some guys have chain swords. Like, it's all this different stuff. So like, you know, the ranges might be more limited, but also they'll probably add some stuff that might not be in tabletop. Also, they've done that with Warhammer Fantasy with just about every faction. There's a couple units in there that you can't play on tabletop or never have been able to play on tabletop, and that's just a thing. So I think the customizability within individual units is going to be such that it's like fine. I'm not worried. Like, I am so excited to play Thousand Sons in 40k Total War. That sounds wild to me. And just throwing magic around and having like Rubric Marines and Mutalith Vortex Beasts and stuff, like just crazy stuff like that. And yeah, it sounds like fun. Whether I have to, you know, have legions of Rubric Marines to fill out my ranks, like I'm cool with that. The Jokairo, yeah, I'm sure the Jokairo will make an appearance at some point. That mini was... The rules for that thing was stupid back in 5th edition. Absolutely stupid. I hated it so much. It's like in the Inquisitorial Retinue or whatever. But yeah, I think the factions will be fine, but also there's time between when I'm sure those like DLC or those factions are released as factions, and there's time for GW to put out more units, more unique units for those factions. Not saying that's going to happen, you know, or it's even likely, but there is time for that. So there could be more stuff that just comes to tabletop, but I don't think CA is above putting units in the game that aren't on tabletop. More aux for Tau? Yeah, a bunch of auxiliaries for Tau would be super cool. Yeah, I'd be all about that. Yeah, I would love to see like the Guavessa, you know, like human auxiliaries for Tau would be really cool. Maybe Hrud. Yeah, I mean, there's a possibility for just some really wacky stuff to come to this game. I do think, I think Creative Assembly has a ton to work with 40k. Probably even more so than they had with Fantasy. So, I don't know what their release cycle is going to look like. But I imagine that there's going to be a lot of DLC for the game. Like, just get ready for it, because it's going to happen. But I think they have years and years and years of just stuff that already exists in the setting before they have to worry about adding in lots of weird, like, esoteric things. Recast God, it might happen, Mr. Lord. It could very well happen. Even Death Guard are kind of lackluster at this point. Like, they have gotten just a character for like multiple editions in a row, and it's really disappointing. Okay, 8 and 9. Left. 9 goes on the right. 9 so goes on the right. There's my 8. There's my 8. Left. Regard to beyond. Yeah, they could put a ton of stuff. I think something I'm looking forward to most with the Guard is different regiments. So like 100% there's going to be a Krieg specific faction, and a Tellarn and Catachin, and then they'll probably get into like Morty and Iron Guard, and you know, like just all those weird regiments. It's free money. You don't have to do much with the skeletons on the units. Like, the animation will be easy. They share many units, but you can make some unique stuff for them. Elysians, Elysians would be so good. Just like an air assault regiment. Oh, it'd be so good. Yeah. Units aren't from the tabletop. GW be more likely to make units for those units down the line. Feminist, I don't know, because everything Creative Assembly does is with the approval of Games Workshop. So they even talked about that with Cathay in Total War Warhammer, where Cathay and Kislev, where they actually they worked close. They got concept art, they got unit ideas, like everything was from Games Workshop for those factions. So Cathay, for example, has Old World rules, right? And they have Old World models. That's a new faction for the Old World. But they've been out for a couple years now for Total War, and they've had multiple DLCs to add units and characters. And if you look at their roster in Total War compared to their roster in the Old World, you're like, man, they're missing so much. So many like different cool miniatures. Like Jade Lions and Greater Longma Riders, and different like Celestial Guard, like different infantry. There's characters missing. There's more cavalry, like peasant cavalry. There's crossbowmen, and there's different artillery. There's giant like carts being pulled by oxen that are just like buff pieces. There's bigger blimp pieces, like hot air balloon pieces in Total War that aren't in table. Like, there's so much. So like, these are all things though that GW has designed and approved Creative Assembly to use. So I don't know if GW will, I don't know if it's necessarily like Creative Assembly makes the unit and GW is like, oh, that's a good idea, let's make a miniature for that. GW might have the mini designs for all this stuff already, and they're just giving Creative Assembly like the ideas, like, hey, how about this unit and this unit and this unit, and like maybe they'll never release them, but maybe it's something that you know, just kind of like waiting for its time to come out or whatever. Many different possibilities. This game's gonna be huge though. It's gonna be huge. It's probably gonna be one of the biggest like RTS games ever made. I already think Total War Warhammer is that, and I think 40k is going to be bigger. Also, another thing to think about, because I've had this thought before, where I see this game and they talk about the technology being used in this game and all the features and all the things, and you look at how the game looks, and you know, they talk about the individual calculations a model uses to determine which gun they're going to fire at which target. I see that, I'm like, holy crap, like my PC is not going to handle this game. You know, I have a decent PC. I have a 3070 graphics card. I have a decent processor. Like, it's a pretty good PC. And it would like make me nervous to run this game. But they are planning on releasing this game for PlayStation and Xbox. So it's going to have some really strong optimization to be able to play on those consoles. And I know my PC can outperform a PlayStation 5. So PC gamers continue to win here, where we don't have to update. We don't have to get like the newest stuff for our PC just to run Total War. Maybe running at the highest settings, maybe. I don't know if I care as much about running at the highest settings, but either way, I'm feeling fine that I can run this game. I was hoping for more World Eaters. I love them. Yeah, refuse to collect never. Yeah. I agree. I agree. The Chaos God factions kind of get shafted with their releases. Or just another stupid character every time. Or, you know, Thousand Suns got a new unit. Woohoo! It's the ugliest robots in the game. Which I will refuse to use in Total War when I play Thousand Suns, just so you know. You'll be like, why aren't you using the sex met robots or whatever they're called? I'm going to say no. I refuse. There we go. These guys will go in here just like this. I'm going to super glue these. Don't use the Vengeance, even if it has plasma. Oh, yeah, just an ugly mini, right? Yeah. I refuse to use minis I don't like. Okay, that guy glued in there. I do that in Total War Warhammer when I play it. I like playing as the High Elves. I refuse to use the flying chariots. The dumbest looking thing to me in the entire game. So I don't use them. Okay, we have to put a couple more things before we put these legs together, because I have two halves for these legs, and they all fit in these ball joints. But I want them to be able to stand properly on here. So I don't think, does this guy... Yeah, so he definitely wasn't meant. I had one that's stepping up on that ledge, but it's not this guy, so it's cool. Does he go on this one? Let's see if he's flat-footed here. His foot is really high. That. No. It's not that, is it? No, it's that same one. Where are you supposed to go, dude? This is my Praetor that I never painted. This fits right on this piece just fine. Maybe he was supposed to go up here. That's it. Yep. He's walking up on that piece right there. Yeah, okay, so this is his base here. Okay. Make sure we have that right. Okay, flip our instruction book over. Yep, it has us putting all that stuff together. Too bad. We're gonna put feet together first. Got legs separated. We got the heads. We could put the heads on, but we don't need to do that right now. The posing on the feet is customizable. 17, there's 18. That side. And 25. $17, $18. Trim these pieces up. Before I put feet, I start getting these leg poses together. Bit on topic for 40k. Any plans for battles and what armies you'd use? I don't have any specific 40k stream plans yet. Yeah, I think this weekend I'm going to try to get some stuff together. We didn't have a stream this week, game stream, but I'm going to try to. I'm still trying to figure out things. I want it to be as good as possible, like as high quality as possible for what we can do. And yeah, but I also need just a few more people I need to contact and see if they want to get together for games. But I know some of those people only play 40k, and when that happens, I think I'll be playing 40k with them. I'm not gonna like shoehorn anyone into playing a game they don't want to play. So it will happen. It just hasn't yet. How's 11th been treating everyone? Yeah. I have not played 11th yet. I didn't even play 10th for like the last year. It seems like people in general are pretty happy with it. Okay. So what I think I do, I think we put this guy kind of this position here. 1 foot back there and 1 foot up. You haven't managed to play since 5th? Yeah. That leg like straight down. And then we'll put this one up. Like that. Yeah. These legs do have little notches. You see a little bubble on the knee, and they actually fit different position divots in there. But if you don't want to use those, you just trim those off and you can position these any way you want. Or constantly kicks my butt, so I tend to be wiped out. Yeah, yeah, that's fair. And you work a lot of like weekend hours, right? That's kind of like your busy time. Okay, and then this guy, I think we'll make him just walking forward up this ramp, and so he'll just have a foot right here and a foot like right there. That'd be pretty easy to work with. Drop some glue. Error. Or we can go back and then forward. That's what we'll do. We'll put this foot ahead a bit. Or shifts in the pit. Ooh. Yeah, something like that. Those are meant to dry. Well, those are drying. Let's see, we did that. We can start some of this trim. I got some 3D printed heads. These are just more unique, like Thousand Sun style heads. I printed this was about a year ago. I printed these almost. This head, if you can see it, it has the crest on the top there. Then I have the cowl piece that's also the crest. New Custodes dreads have the name notches. Look forward to putting those together. Yeah. Oh, that's so cool. I love the look of the new Custodes, and it's bad because I've always hated Custodes. I've always thought Custodes were super lame. And these new plastics are so good looking. I almost got the Custodes, the first Custodes battle group. And I actually pre-ordered it at my local store and ended up canceling the pre-order. Because I was like, this is a lot of money and I really don't need this. And I ended up spending a lot less money and getting a Star Wars Legion box instead. I was thinking about painting them, and I was like, am I really going to have a good time painting this? Maybe not. It's going to take forever. It's going to sit on the backlog, and I have other stuff to paint. And like, just all those things were just kind of like, I don't think I should. The sets are a good deal, though. A really good deal. You need a hydrometer to get the actual numbers between 120 degree weather, so close, typically humidity, the heat stress is considerable. Oh no. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Dude, I hope you're staying safe, though. Like, 120 degree heat is not something to mess around with at all. We had it over 100. It was like 107 here, I think, the heat index, for a couple days a few weeks ago, and it was miserable. We're just like, we're not going outside. Like, collectively as a family. No one's leaving the house. Yeah, stay hydrated, for sure. Alright, we got those things. We could just put these on. I'll show you guys. These fit in here. They like slot into there when you push them in. These heads, I think, have to go in first, though, or the heads will go in there. Does this fit around the head? No, the cowl goes in first. That's what it is, because that will not fit over the head. do this properly. Yes. Hello, Painting Sun. How are you doing? Cool. You want to clip some minis out? A little bit of hobby?
Maybe a little bit.
Okay, I'm assembling minis too.
Mom got you guys new sheets, and the little bag for the sheets, I made it into like a mask. Yes.
Gosh, you're ridiculous.
Huh?
You're ridiculous. What? He says, "What's up?" In a very weird way. I think he's trying to say Painting Sun for the win. Oh yeah, see, these heads are difficult to go in anyway.
My Mandalorian.
Did I do this wrong again?
My Mandalorian heads. The IG minis that I was assembling and
The Mando heads?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like so hard.
Why don't you clip some minis out?
Are those like new pairs or like cool old pairs?
They are older ones,
Okay.
but I got them a while ago to test for a company,
Oh.
and they since sent me the ones that you have been using. This down here. Where's the keyboard type that? Yeah, it's weird. That's weird. I typed it backwards. Options of cooldown according to some calculations not possible to absorb enough water to keep with the output. Yeah. Okay. Alright, we got one. So we do have to put the head on first. Cut out some Mandos. Now, do these ones have options, or are they just all like blaster rifle dudes?
They don't have rifle options, but they have like options for like the neck part, which you'll probably put on the chest, which then you put the head on there. It has that's cool. It has arm options. It's like a little cape on the arm or not.
Okay.
And then they have the leg, I think, options. Like, not pretty customizable, but not super customizable.
Okay, that makes it easy, right?
Yeah, but I like the customization that they put on there.
Right. Turn that way, kid. Dutch paper, what's that dude doing? Just running?
He's walking.
It's a D, right?
No, this is E.
It's E. Oh, you put together D already. Yeah, okay, so it's E. All right.
Yeah, I put D together.
That's right.
Then I
That's right.
G together. Have I done D yet? I don't know. Yeah, I did. I'm doing it in kind of like number or letter order.
Okay.
A, B, C, F, G. No, I'd not. No. E, then G, but no, I just did G to E.
You did G already?
Yeah, I did G. Yeah. These dudes are G.
They were... The guys you just put together are G?
Uh-huh.
Oh, weird. I thought they were D.
Uh-uh. Wait, no, they are... yeah. No, they were D. I thought those guys are G.
No, you've been going in order. You've been going in order.
I really thought those guys were G.
All good. It's a little step up. Alright. Cool. those in place, while we're doing that, we can trim these. These are the shoulder pads. And these are cool Thousand Suns specific shoulder pads I got.
It looks super cool on my instructions.
What does?
Like mini.
Oh, that mini? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. It has a back view of it before the jetpack, and then this shit looks really cool. I have the warrior for. I think if you want more of like a watch kind of dude, I think you want the cape, like on like one of the arms.
Mm-hmm.
The cape is going back, and like the cape for the neck. I think that is what you want.
Okay.
You want a watch, which is what I'm going for.
Lots of capes for them, huh?
Yeah. But I don't think I've said hello to Stream yet. Hello, Stream.
You've gotten a couple hellos. Mydraw and Jaded Valkyrie have said hello.
Hello. Go back. I'm gonna search for the warrior. And the warrior one.
Okay, the jetpack one.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
What I'm gonna do for when I'm making my Mandalorian army, I'm gonna, with this starter set, I'm gonna have one initiate squad, two warrior squads. Is what I'm going for.
Yeah. And you might end up with like 3 or more warrior squads too.
Yeah.
Because you're putting together 11 minis for each squad.
Yeah, so...
And it only takes 4 minis to make a basic squad.
So if I want a super squad of initiates, I could have the one squad of 11?
You can almost, I think you get up to 10 in the squad maybe. But, yeah, and then you end up with enough minis to form another squad, basically.
Okay, so I should have enough for
Yeah.
a couple squads.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Hey, CDs, what's going on?
Hi.
I'm doing well. Yeah, just assembling minis at the Painting Sun here. He's putting together some Star Wars Legion. I'm putting together some 30k Saturnine Terminators.
Are they really hard to put together?
They take forever. Yeah.
How have you been putting those guys together?
Well, these guys I've been going pretty quick on because this is number 5 and 6 that I've put together.
Okay.
But I remember the first couple, like they just take a couple hours each. Yeah, they're like 40 pieces a piece.
Compared to my 11 piece mangoes. Less than 11 piece mangoes.
Yeah. Well, those Star Wars Legion minis are really easy anyway.
Yeah, they're like hyper advanced Legos.
Yeah.
Like so much fun to put together.
Yeah, I do agree with that, CDs. The 40k minis are definitely cooler than, or the 30k minis are definitely cooler than the 40k minis. The Saturnine aren't my favorite, but I appreciate the amount of customization that's in this kit. Where you get to kind of pose everything how you want and do all the stuff how you want, which is really nice. So I like that. Trimmed that one already. Looks like I trimmed that a while ago. Alright, cool. So we have shoulder pads. We don't need the shoulder pads yet. But what we can do, before we put all the feet on, is we can start... Let's see, all the weapons are together, I think. No, there are still some weapons I haven't put together, so I'll put some weapons together. Disintegrators and power fists.
Wait, first let me just trim that.
Yeah, we could do that. Thanks, Umi. You may trim that for you real quick. Alright, let's get Painting Sun's mini here. So he's got these Mando pieces.
The cape arm one is so cool. I appreciate that.
Yeah, the arm cape. That's like classic
Yes.
Mando look. Yeah, it's good.
It's also just like a walking dude instead. Well, kind of a walking. His foot is a little bit back. but like ever since my A minis, they've been like.
Yeah.
My next kind of straight one.
Same for the Custodes. You have to get creative to poses. Yeah, the Custodes are very monopose. Yeah, some of the Mechanicum are monopose too, and I wonder if that's just like the nature of the minis. Like, you know, you want plastic minis, but they all have those big capes and everything, and so it's just too much work to make them posable. Plus, have cool-looking capes. I feel like they probably should have future-proofed them a bit and made the arms swappable or something. Because yeah, it really stinks that you can't even. You know, yeah, the little mechadendrites on the Mechanicum. That's true. Like I've heard complaints about the Thalax. The Thalax not being customizable, like they're all monopose and they're just like the same pose is kind of lame. Just trimming these little Mandos so Painting Sun can get to gluing them.
I'll hop back on stream a little bit later, or tonight we could together.
Okay. The first card, force them to work at cutting and stealing arms from other kits. Combine the ones I have. If Custodians of both sword and spear now. Oh, okay. So you're mixing up a little bit. It just takes some work. That's what it seems like. Yeah, the Thalax and the Ursarax. I like the Ursarax a lot, but they're pretty boring minis, all things considered. At least compared to the rest of the Mechanicum stuff. This clipper's working fine for you, Painting Sun.
Yeah, they're working great.
Good.
Just fine. Almost finished cutting the next piece.
2 head pieces, 2 torso pieces, 2 legs, 2 arms, neck piece, and jetpack. Yeah, cool. That one's all set. 40k has so few robots with the AdMech. Yeah. I agree. I still think they're cooler than AdMech, but you know, guess you can't win them all, right?
Next one will be right here when you're ready.
Okay. Put these feet on.
Upstairs after this.
After you cut those out.
Mom is chilling upstairs.
Good for her. We gotta bother her. Is that what you're saying?
Play.
Let's see, what can I use to balance this guy. That's not gonna work. I think we just gotta let him sit for a moment. It's a good pose though. Use your Thanatars in 40k, be happy. Yeah. They're not in like the legends or anything. They're just like non-existent. There we go.
Every 4 computers now have primary control of critical vehicle functions.
Okay, that's too bad. Yeah, but I understand. Like, proxying them is not the same as having rules for the unit, right? We'll let those go for a minute. We have the heals to put on after that. But while we wait on that, I can go ahead and I'll trim this next Mando. See about putting a disintegrator together too. Voltrax, yeah, that'd be a cool one for 40k. The Voltrax is so cool looking. Yeah. Torso piece, okay. Again, the new Skitarii. I really like the new Skitarii, the 30k ones. I think the initial pictures, they didn't look amazing. They have, you know, like the weird still legs and stuff. When you see them in person and with a different color scheme, they look phenomenal. They're so, like, menacing looking. Yeah, they're great looking minis. You done?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you just gonna head upstairs?
Probably.
Okay.
Might visit a little bit later.
Alright, well, I'm streaming for maybe another 45 minutes at the most, so it's fine if you don't want to, but it's okay if you come back. Love you, bud. Hey, can you get your snack trash too?
Oh, sorry.
From earlier? That's fine. No hoods, yeah, that's fair. I never had many opinions about like Mechanicum or Skitarii before that, so for me it's like, you know, another Mechanicum unit, but then like I was like, yeah, they look okay, they're not amazing, and then yeah, like I said, you see them in person, you're like, ooh.
Look at me!
Hey, Mydra and Whips. Oh, is this more on the Devilfish? Is that what this is? Eli's finished? Okay. 1 second, let me finish this Mando here. Okay, let's take a look. In ye old finished. Oh, nice. Oh, you're setting up a little like diorama. That's great. Nice. And I love the yellow, what are they called? Vespid. And they have like the white and red. It's like such a contrast, like a really interesting contrast. With two like little like wasps though. It's great. No, fantastic stuff. Yeah. Guys, yeah, go check out Mydral's Tau and finished projects in the Discord. Yeah, I really like the color scheme though. If I were any different Ohioan, would like them for a different reason, and the fact that they are almost like a scarlet and gray color scheme. So, didn't realize you were such an Ohio State fan, Mydral, but good stuff. Good stuff regardless. Some candy Buckeyes. Yeah, that counts. No, that's my favorite kind of Buckeye as well. So you better than burnt orange. Hobby knife needs a new blade soon. I think some will have some gluing to do. He's getting through that kit. These are let me see how many he has assembled here. Real quick, let's see. 2 arms, 2 legs, torso piece and neck piece. Both halves. Yep. Okay, and this one doesn't get a jetpack because the initiate. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 minis assembled. These are numbers 16 through 18 out of 36, 35 total that he has. So, yeah, he's getting there. All right, let's put these heel pieces on. They're not too bad. That one's turned at a weird angle. Plastic glue. Oh no. Messing up stuff. Hey, Sir Strumming Fish. What's going on? That's it. Those are our feet on that one. Those are good. It's the hardest part on these. Okay. That works. So we're going to let those dry for a bit, and I'm going to put together some weapons. These disintegrators put together. There's 2 parts. Being the last of your Dunlin. Oh, nice. Very nice. Yeah, these are each just 2 parts. We already have the plasma, so we'll have the fists with the particle shredders to put together as well. The goal is to eventually magnetize these minis, but it's easier to assemble these first before I magnetize them. So I basically shove a stack of magnets after I drill into the connection point here and in their elbows. It takes some effort. But I did with all the plasma, all 6 plasma. We'll just have to do the fists will be an interesting one because the angles, you know, wanting it to work well. It should be good. And then eventually, you know, if I want something like a Saturnine Command Squad, I can do that magnetizing with some weapons and such. Melee weapons, at least. Working on a Kratos. Yeah, Kratos are really cool. There is a lot about the Kratos that I feel like doesn't like fit Heresy super well. But that's mainly just like the kind of 40k-esque weapons stacked on weapons kind of thing. Like, it feels like there are too many guns on the Kratos. But it is a cool mini. together. Well, Kratos is meant to kill gods. Maybe, yeah. That's why it has so many weapons. Set those to the side. Okay, we can put together these other weapons here. Particle Shredder, 34, 35, 36. 34. It's 35. There's 36, okay. The other side. One of the things about this mini with the pieces that I'm using, so you know, I had shoulders for this mini, like I have like 3D printed shoulders. Those shoulder pads, the individual minis are, I think, 4 parts each. I cut down to 1, so it's like 8 parts on this mini, and just like there's a shoulder half, there's a shoulder half, there's a shoulder piece, and that's a shoulder piece. And that's just the for each shoulder for each model. So I'll cut that down to one per model. Talking about like how many pieces are involved in this kit. That's what I mean. It's too many. Okay, put these parts together. Needless to say, I'm very excited for Total War. Hope I can get into this beta, whatever people are calling it. Hope I can get in on that. Try the game out a little early. Be nice. Hey, Raja, what's going on? Those little guys, we'll set those to the side. We're gonna get these arms together. 38, 39, 26, 27. Okay. I don't think they really matter who goes where. All right.
First of all, let me take just a moment to thank you for allowing me back into your...
Hey, Greyfax. Thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Just assembling some Saturnine Terminators. These are the last of the Saturnine Terminators I have to assemble. And maybe one of these days I'll paint these. They're very low on the priority list.
I believe every day's a good day when you paint.
Hey, Raja, thank you for the resub. 32 months. Crazy, dude. Yeah. Happy anniversary. Thank you. Yeah. So I haven't started the Saturnine box. Later this year. What Legion you gonna paint, Sir Starlingfish? Okay, let's get these little arm halves together. Word bears, nice. Okay. They have the cool like demon possessed Saturnine Terminators. That's fun. Okay. Those arms are put together. I'll wait for those to dry. Let's get the Power Fists. These are 28 and 29. Okay. Do 31, yeah. And 32, 33. That's all the parts for Power Fists, or Disruption Fists, or whatever they're called. Scheme for Saturnine? Phaedros, I think? Yeah. Yeah, they have like the glowing heads and stuff because they... people and then possess them with demons. was in the, was that the first Journal Tactica, maybe? No, that wasn't Istvan. That was the second one, the Forges of Saturn book. What are you building there? These are Saturnine Terminators. So I have had these Saturnine Terminators for about a year at this point with my Saturnine box. And these are the last two that I have to put together. So it's something I could do kind of in a pinch, and painting some was with me for a little bit. Working on some minis, but I thought it'd be fun if we were assembling minis together. Let's go something like that. Have some unique parts for my Saturnine Terminators. Shoulders, torsos, and head pieces, essentially. There's one fist done. It's the other fist. Okay. And then we'll have to glue the particle shredders on them, but they're almost done. Now we just need to get these weapons, and essentially what we're going to do, we're just going to glue these arms just kind of out a bit so we can make sure the weapons fit. Kind of lined up. Like that. So he's standing nicely. This one. Alright, they are there. Next, I believe there are little shoulder pads we put on, okay? And then we put the big shoulder pads on. And these are 37. Goes on the right side here. 5 goes on the left. One fist, two fists, red fist, blue fist, yeah. Okay, so we have those, and they go right there. All right, this piece is on. These little shoulder pads will be almost completely covered. Do help hide some of the stuff. There are things like that big gap right there between my print and the plastic. That'll be covered by the shoulder pads. Not something to worry about. Alright. Yeah, and the final thing to do... Which one goes where? Okay, this one goes on this side. Sit up here. Like so, and you see it covers up that gap. Can't see anything. Try to fit these so they we can wait. Let's wait just a moment on those. We'll get these shoulder pads first, or these power fists first. The way these go, goes on the pinky side. Yep. They end up fitting flush. Trying to find where flush is. Yeah, right there. Okay. All right. They're actually, it's like curved in a way to make it fit. Go. Wait for the plastic glue, then we just gotta get these shoulders on. Okay. Fists are done. Now it's just shoulder time. What I'm trying to do when I put this shoulder pad on, I'm trying to line it up around this, like, I don't know, exhaust piece or whatever this is. So it looks good over there. There are 2 points to glue on this. I'm going to hold it weird just so I can do this. There and right there. This up here, lines up, outlines that just fine. You can see this is our more recently assembled one. On this one, our fingers at our disposal. Yep. Drifting. You can stand there because you're done. This one here. Maybe we'll take some votes on what you guys want to see painted next. I have a couple Thousand Suns units work on, also some random things, so maybe we'll do that. We'll do that for Sunday. Could also paint some Project Legion things. Go, that's set on really easily. All right, big old Terminators. Doing Terminator things. Being a problem. Alright. Well, finally, I have everything assembled from my Saturnine box. Everything else is painted. It's just these 4 models that I never bothered to mess with. I will need shoulders for this Praetor. Just another, I don't have another set of shoulders, do I? No. I do not. Okay, cool. So I'll get him some shoulders and everything, but yeah, we'll print him some big shoulder pads. Then maybe we'll have some cool little Saturnines to work on. But it's exciting. Yeah, I can finally close my introductory rules and miniature construction guide for the Horus Heresy. First time it's been closed in almost a year. Just had it open this whole time. But yeah, thanks guys for coming to hang out with me today. Man, I am excited. I'm going to be spending so much time reading about Total War 40K and reading everybody's hot takes on everything. It's going to be a good time. So yeah, that's going to be a whole thing. So I'm sure we'll have more to talk about on Sunday, And yeah, maybe I'll put up a little poll what you guys want to see painted, and I'll just get some minis prepped, see what we can't do. But yeah, you guys have a wonderful day, wonderful weekend, and I should see you all Sunday night. Raja, Jaded Valkyrie, Sir Stroming Fish, My Draw, CDs. Who else we got in here? Yeah, thanks guys. Famulous. Thank you for chilling with me today, and you guys have a great weekend. Bye everybody.